Welcome to another episode of The Craft presented by Tequila Corrajelo. I'm Sarah Kate Kilby and we're here in Sacramento, California to sit down with Sacramento Republic FC's head coach Mark Briggs and Monterey Bay FC's head coach Frank Yallop. Let's get into upbringings, inspiration, and the craft of coaching. Don Miguel Hidalgo, who is known for launching the Mexican War of Independence, was born in Hacienda Corrajelo, Mexico, home of the Corrajelo Distillery. Let's hear about Briggs and Yallop's roots and how they got their start in coaching.
Well, my first start in coaching was in Tampa.
Right.
Finished my career playing, and then got offered the second assistant coaching job at Tampa. And then my first head coaching job was at the San Jose Earthquakes 2001 season.
Started in Wilmington, North Carolina. Finished playing with the Hammerheads, and then fell into coaching. Was the assistant for a couple of seasons, and then worked in the youth academy there. Then the coach they hired, they fired and asked me if I wanted to do it, so I did it for the first year in 2016, and here we are.
Pretty impressive.
Here we are.
Corrajelo is the first estate in Mexico to produce tequila as a commercial venture, and among only a chosen few tequila distilleries granted the right to produce tequila in a province other than Jalisco. It takes a lot of dedication and hard work to reach a level not everyone can reach. So what does it take to get to the pro coaching level?
A lot of fortune, really, to get to the level they were at. A lot of dedication, doing the licenses, having a good a growth mindset, sometimes being in the right place at the right time.
I think a lot of times with coaching, you have a sort of a plan of what you want your teams to look like, but you've got to work with what you kind of have sometimes as well. So, yeah. And that's probably the hardest part, I think, in coaching.
I think you're only as good as the players you have at your disposal, really, aren't you?
I think the big thing as well is getting the best out of the lads, the players, just treating them well, and they follow you and they listen to you, and that's what I've always tried to do, and I think it comes out in most of my teams.
The connection is huge, connection between yourself and the players allows you to be successful.
I was lucky enough to play not in the first team under Bobby Robson.
Right.
He said to me, he wants to be able to see one of his players he's coached 15 years down the line and they're going to give me a hug. He wanted to be like a good person. I think it was Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo.
The original?
The original.
Yeah, the original.
And then they asked him who's the best coach that he's ever had, and he said, the best person I've ever had is Bobby Robson. And that was it. But it's just being fair with players and making sure that, I got their back when they need it. So that really stuck with me, to be honest, so.
I was really close to my grandma, and just before she passed away, she said to me, always treat people the way you want to be treated. I've took that into my coaching.
Good.
And try to treat the players with respect, try to be honest with the players, but also try to make them understand that we're fortunate to do what we do and to make it fun and enjoyable.
For nearly 250 years, the distillation methods of Hacienda Corrajelo have been preserved, refined, and developed by their local community into a tradition of tequila. Today, you can experience the tradition in Tequila Corrajelo, which is still proudly family and Mexican owned and operated. Much like Corrajelo adapts within tradition, coaching also involves never-ending adaptation.
It's constantly evolving, the game, right? And I think if you looked at Mark Briggs of 2016 and Mark Briggs now, very different person, very different, the way I do things, how I communicate, organisation, the conversations with the players.
Well, it shows in your results, by the way, so you know what I mean? I've been in a long time now, 20 odd years, just over 20 years of head coaching, so you see different characters,
right,
and different level of players. I've evolved a little bit, but I'm pretty much old school with my structure of what I want from the players, and I think I just want to get in a good environment for the players to enjoy and express themselves, and they feel not so much trapped in it, and more that they're the ones initiating the play, so they feel more sort of in it, if that makes sense.
For sure. So you obviously give the players simple messaging and they can carry that out, and then they want to play for you, which is obviously another thing on top of that.
That's a good joy when you work on stuff in the week and talk about it, you do film or whatever you're doing, and then you sort of teach them a little bit of stuff, and it comes out in the match. It's like, oh, brilliant. You're like, wow, they did listen actually.
Yeah, they were listening.
Yeah, they did listen.
Corrajelo tequila is exclusively made with 100% Blue Weber agave, hand-harvested from fields in the state of Guanajuato. Let's hear what coaching is made of and what advice these coaches have for those aspiring to be in the same position.
Being able to connect with a person and being able to motivate a person is much more impactful than knowing your X's and O's.
Nice when you get someone asking you stuff. It's like, oh, he's
Exactly.
kind of interested in this, you know? Yeah. You're the nearest thing that they can ask because you're coaching them. So you got to connect. You got to be able to connect with the team and the players. When you're saying something, you got to believe what you're saying.
And results always help you.
Yeah, they do.
Do you know what I mean? For those, like talking about those guys, if you, I don't know, you change their tactics or you do something different, but then you get beat for the next 3 or 4 weeks, it's like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
But you change it and you win, oh, he's a genius.
Exactly.
You know?
We put someone in scores, you're like, look at this guy.
Exactly. Knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
I could sit here and talk to you all night and pick your brain.
We are, I think.